Hi, it's Paul.
I'm Stewart.
And we've just watched Comes a Bright Day.
London, 8 million of us, all with our own dreams. A world of plenty, bursting with opportunity, but the streets really can be paved with gold. My name's Sam Smith. That isn't me. This is me. Busy working on my own dreams.
I've got a job for you.
Does anything catch your eye?
Definitely.
Really?
Get down! We've got hostages, so nothing silly.
So what were they after?
The star, papillon, diamond butterfly brooch. I half expected to flutter its wings and fly straight out of the window. How do we get out?
The main thing that drew me to Comes a Bright Day was the trailer, really. It was very slick, very kind of cool, a real richness to it. It's a heist movie, but it's got romantic elements thrown in there as well, which is an interesting mix. Looked thrilling, and for me it's got probably one of my favourite up-and-coming actors, really, Craig Roberts. Seen a lot of him, obviously famous for Submarine.
Yep.
Really great British film, check that one out. And he's been in a lot of TV shows as well.
Annie, this is Adam. Adam is a vampire. Isn't that fantastic?
Alongside Craig Roberts is Imogen Poots, who you may have seen in 28 Weeks Later, and she was in the American remake of Fright Night. Wait, the original was American, so it's not a remake, it's just a remake in general, of Fright Night, and she was again very good, some kind of cracking performance there from her as well.
Everything's gonna work out.
There isn't a way out.
Oh, look, I exaggerated a little. I'm sorry.
I just don't like liars.
Time's coming now!
They've put you in here as a plant, haven't they? So if they get arrested, the jewels get out anyway. It's very clever.
He said to me he knows me and I know him. If I mention another word, he'd kill me.
So the basic plot's relatively straightforward. Sam Smith, played by Craig, works in a hotel and he's been sent out to the jewellery store to run an errand for one of the guests. Whilst there, he bumps into Imogen and decides to ask her out. However, during this, a robbery takes place, and before you know it, he's thrown into this very tense, threatening situation.
So the character of Sam, he's a working class lad, and he's very lower level staff member in this hotel. He's kind of downtrodden on by his boss, who is a very hard man to please. And he's kind of looking for something better in life, and he's got these big aspirations to start a restaurant with his best friend. But he's stuck in this job at the moment, and he can't really get out of there.
Yeah, he seems to have a kind of a weird relationship to wealth as well, doesn't he? He seems a bit obsessed with monetary validation rather than being a rich character, or rather than having relationships with people. Everything seems to boil down to money to him, which does change throughout the film, so you do see some growth there. But what I like, especially from the beginning, was you get some nice voiceover in there, which gets you right inside Sam's head. And again, it's played to perfection. Craig Roberts has really nice comic timing. He's very watchable, very kind of that awkward, endearing kind of character. And yeah, you're with him, definitely. I was on his shoulders wanting to see him succeed and see how this threatening situation will play out, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good heart, don't you, Mary?
Maybe. Maybe not.
You just got to work out what you want, Sam.
You're a fucking liar!
Are you sure it was my jewellery you came to see today?
Get off of you! On your knees!
So the second the heist starts, that's when the film really kicks into gear, doesn't it? And it does change quite rapidly. At the start, we don't really give too much away, but when the heist does take place, something quite brutal really happens very quickly, and instantly you get a feel for this plot can go anywhere. And that's part of the fun of it, because a lot of the taboos are broken straight away, and who knows what's going to happen to Sam, who knows what's going to happen to the robbers. It's all up for grabs, which is a lot of fun and very thrilling to watch.
So the two robbers that come into the jewellery store, they've nicknamed themselves Cameron and Clegg. It's quite funny. But yeah, one of them, the leader of the robbers, is quite unstable. He seems to not have any prior experience in doing robberies before. And
they seem wild guns, don't they?
Yeah.
Really? And they're tooled up. They've got some serious artillery.
Yeah, lots of weaponry and stuff, but no real plan of what they're doing. So again, that kind of leads into the whole thing of you don't know what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Anyone could get harmed.
Do you believe me now?
Yes.
You're gonna live to see the consequences of your actions. Come on, hurry up!
Clegg, who is the sidekick to the lead robber, to Cameron, he's a bit more of an idiot in a way. He's very obvious that he doesn't know what he's doing, panicking instantly. And the hostages are mostly more in control than he is of the situation.
But they do seem very real though.
Yeah.
When things go wrong, they're not asking for like helicopters and things like that. It's just like, oh, can we get a reduced sentence out of this? And it is grounded in reality.
Yeah.
And their interactions do feel very real, even though you have a very, well, for want of a better word, kind of psychotic lead.
Definitely, which escalates as the story goes on.
Definitely.
To areas that I didn't expect at all.
No,
it gets quite creepy
really
as well.
goes,
yeah, and again, it kind of puts opportunities up for Sam to kind of take control of the situation. Some great character moments in there.
Definitely.
I am coming to shoot someone!
Get your hands off her. Leave her alone. She's never gonna fall for you. You're an imbecile.
So Sam isn't really an out-and-out hero, is he?
No.
Certainly not to begin with. In fact, Imogen's character is much stronger than Sam and stands up against the robbers, much to her own kind of danger, really. But Sam does grow. You definitely see a progression throughout the film where he starts to take charge not only of the situation but of his own life, really, which is nice.
So the humour in the film is quite interesting. It's a bit dry, it's a bit dark in places, but it takes an interesting kind of jab at the way the rich and as the employers look at the poor as the employees in a way.
Definitely.
And how the poor aspire to be those people, even though they hate them.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting in that respect.
That kind of all plays into Sam's preoccupation with rich and poor, even in the fact that he's getting a gun pointed to his head and he's still worrying about how much the jewels cost that are getting robbed. And it's again, there's growth there within the character, but to begin with, it is a very dry look at certain types of Londoners, really.
Definitely.
So, if you want something, all you have to do is ask, right? Yeah. What could be more simple?
So one of the characters that we haven't mentioned yet is Timothy Spall, who is the owner of the jewellery store. He's quite an interesting character because he kind of is the one who stands up to these robbers when they come in. But he plays an interesting role in the film as kind of a mentor / father figure to Imogen's character, and then again as kind of the mentor of the relationship in a way for Imogen.
He helps the Craig Roberts' character out.
He sees
as well.
good in him, whereas Imogen at first just sees him as a liar, a scumbag, and he's not truthful about when he first meets her. He's not truthful. And that unfortunately carries on to everything.
Interesting situation, though, I think, to put to film, because they're in a very tense environment. It is life or death. Those rules are set out straight away, really. But within that, you've got this very young relationship growing with the help of this father figure. Which, again, is one of the things that drew me to the film, really. It was a very interesting mix of elements.
Yeah. It was unique, definitely.
Unique, definitely, yeah. The romance in there is quite sweet in places. It grows, but it's all again set in very confined environments within this life and death situation. So they're stripped of all the falsities very straight away, really. Which again is interesting to see these characters brought down to the bare bones. They can't hide behind anything because it's this life and death situation.
Yeah, and they are slowly stripped down over the course of the film to the truths, really. Because at the start of the film, Charlie he meets Imogen in a shop. And he pretends that he's kind of a rich entertainment manager because he's got the posh watch on that he wants to take to the jewellery store, he wears that.
Which isn't his.
It's not his watch, and he lies to her. And then when they do get in that situation, he kind of maintains that for a while, but it slowly gets stripped back, and she starts to suspect, or maybe you're involved in the robbery, maybe this, and you do root for Craig's character because he's so likeable, and you do want him to succeed, but
he doesn't help himself.
Yeah, he shoots himself in the foot so many times.
Yeah, but again, it's fun to watch in that element, and it does work with the fact that you've got this tension, and then you've got the comedic, romantic elements to it. So it never feels static as a film.
No,
and the plot really does allow it to go anywhere. Again, even within these confined the room that they're in. Really,
you can't kill me, son. I'm dead already.
So yeah, we're big fans of this film. Do check it out. We actually saw this one on Netflix, so
very easy for you to watch.
Yes,
no
definitely.
excuses.
It's a British film, very slick, funny, dark humour in it, very tense, and it's got a real plushness and richness to it. Very stylised. So please do share this film around. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can. Check out the new designed website that we've got as well. Do you want to give the website?
Yeah, glasscannonfilm.co.uk. Do check that out.
And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.